Hey everybody, Papa Todd Takes. I am Papa Todd. Let's talk a little bit about last night's dust-up between Enes Kanter Freedom and Natasha Cloud. Both trolls for their own sides, I would say, is probably fair to say. So anyway, if you didn't watch the game, if you've been living under a rock, last night there's the Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky, and they played in Chicago. Not exactly a hotbed of political conservatism, let's put it that way, right? So, and there was these whole, and I support people's right to free speech, but it's an athletic event. Nobody wants to see the garbage, the political shit outside of a sporting venue. You know, everybody clearly has a side on this, right? Everybody clearly does. You either are for it or against it. Nobody's up in the air on this. But why do we have to go to these games and protest or be pro? Just leave it out. Can we just please? Jesus Christ. But anyway, so, and I'm still waiting for the WNBA and the WNBPA to come out and say what a woman is, because they're the only people on the face of the planet Earth that can't come out and give you a definition of what a woman is. Enter Enes Kanter Freedom, right? And this guy, he's a freaking troll, right? I mean, he's said he's entering his name in the WNBA draft to prove a point, because they have to make a call. Now, they just get to ignore it. Yeah, they'll do that. But at the end of the day, I mean, the fact that you can't come out and define a woman makes you a bunch of idiots. You have taken a position so bad that you can't define basic biology. That's pretty stupid. That makes you look like a bunch of dumbasses. It really does. Just for Christ's sakes, folks. And no, there's not a bunch of trans athletes trying to get in there, but they're at the high school and they're at the high school and the college level. They're taking away roles on clubs, right? They're winning titles, taking away medals from girls in sports here in the United States of America. It is happening. So don't sit there and say it's not an issue. It may not be an issue in the WNBA yet, but goddamn it, somebody better start pushing it and making it an issue. Because if you're going to keep doing this, let's have it out once and for all. And that's where Enes Kanter Freedom is. That's what he's doing. Because Sophie Cunningham comes out with a pretty non-radical statement and just says, yes, I think women's sports should be reserved for non-biological males, or biological women only, biological female only, however you want to phrase it. I know I just massacred that. That is not a radical statement, folks. That is not even a political statement. That's like an 80-90% of normal human being statement. And the ones that are against it can't define it. So it's essentially it's a 100% issue, okay? Unless you actively think, if I'm sitting here, if Papa Todd sit here and says, you know what, I'm Nana Todd, and now you have to concede that I'm a female because I say that I am. How stupid is that? And then you argue this with the fact that the side that's making that argument is the side that kept pushing science during the whole COVID travesty, right? Guys, what are we fucking doing? Pull your heads out of your ass and have some common sense. But anyway, Enes Kanter Freedom then goes into the game and he wears a shirt and it says woman noun. Adult human female. That's what his shirt said. Woman noun. Adult human female. And apparently this just triggers Natasha Cloud. She had to have been stewing on this the whole game. Just losing her ever-loving mind. And I'm telling you, I have not had an issue with Natasha Cloud. Natasha Cloud and I do not see the same. We are not politically the same, and that's fine. How boring of a world is it if everybody thought the same? But we should be able to sit and discuss our differences without attacking the other person. And that's the problem that Natasha Cloud and her ilk have, is because they can't do that. They have to go on the attack. So Sophie Cunningham says a basic issue. It was not a political statement. They corner on her. She does not take it any farther. She just says, I said what I said. That's how I believe. End of freaking story. That was it. And then the left, the far left, I shouldn't say the whole left, the far left, the people on here like your Cheryl Reeves and apparently Natasha Cloud, now all of a sudden they lose their ever-loving minds and they start going after you. My God, you're going after kids. Okay, I've said this a million times. I'll say it again. There is no such thing as a trans kid. Kids do not know. They don't get it. And if you're allowing a child to transition, we have bigger issues. And then, yes, I do have a personal issue with you if you're allowing that to happen. That's a problem, right? Because we don't know if they're 6, 7 years old. Are they just confused? Are they pretending? What's going on? We don't know. Their minds are not developed far enough yet. Now, if you're a full-grown adult and you want to transition because you believe that you're in the wrong body, we live in a society where you're able to do that. And I don't have to agree with it or disagree with it because we can coexist. I can work with you, right? I think I said something here a couple nights ago. There was a person, a team lead in one of the plants I worked at, transitioning. One of the best team leads I've ever worked with. End of story. I don't want to say I don't have a problem with it. I struggle with that because I don't fully grasp it, maybe. I don't agree with it, but I don't hate those people. I don't hate them. Just because I think somebody's wrong for something doesn't mean I hate them. But the Natasha Clouds of the world, the Cheryl Reeves of the world, can we say the same about them? I don't think so. Because Natasha Cloud saw that shirt. Enos Canner Freedom, from everything I'm reading now, there could have been more. I mean, the guy's a troll, it's obvious, right? Could have been doing something. But my understanding is he was just cheering for Sophie. With a group of people he was there supporting because of their political battles out front, which I disagree with that anyway. But you have a right to do it. There's etiquette. There's being a decent human being, whatever. But maybe this is the place to do it, though. I mean, there's women in sports. It's the battleground. It's the WNBA. It's not a WNBA issue yet until they've made it. And this is where I get upset because they keep sitting there, stay out of this. I don't need to talk about it. When they get cornered, they say this. This should be about basketball. But you're the ones dragging us into this bullshit. Every time you drag us into it because somebody says women's sports should be for biological females. End of story. I mean, there's a whole section of laws. It's called Title IX. You may want to look it up just for that. And now everybody's like, no, because we have to take the most farthest reaching group out in the ether who's a minuscule, tiny 1% of 1% of 1% or whatever the hell it is. And we have to stand up for them like they're the majority. They're not. Right? You can pick and choose to live as the opposite sex all you want. You're free to do so, but you don't get to force yourself into protected classes then. You don't get to do it. Especially one that's so subjective, I have to take your word just because you say it. Do you know how stupid that is? Natasha, do you know how stupid you look? You can defend people all you want, but you're dragging this in like it's all this major battle here, like you're some freaking hero standing up for it. You're showing signs of mental retardation. It really has me wondering. Really has me wondering, because you people are so disingenuous. All of you, including Enos Canner Freedom. But he is at least making a point. I'm sorry, she is making a point because she has stated that she's identifying as female for WNBA purposes. pull your heads out of your asses. I mean, you're sinking everything. You're going to take down the WNBA with you, which is probably a good thing. Guys, this shit just keeps writing itself. These people are certifiably insane. They're certifiably insane. And Natasha Cloud, you lost me. I know you don't care. I'm seen as a big, bad, evil human being because I believe in standing up for my granddaughters and my daughters. So be it. I don't see you as evil. I see you as stupid. Papa Todd out. Keep thinking for yourselves, folks.